X-Men 97. Wow. In previous episodes, we saw Jean and Madeline confronted with an existential crisis. And now... Okay, hold on. Let me say this first. This video contains spoilers for X-Men 97 Episode 5, Remember It. The episode had a major Game of Thrones moment that I needed time to recover from. But other than the genocidal actions taking place, there were more small-scale incidents with huge implications. Jean Grey, the original one, impulsively kisses Wolverine. Later on, she lashes out at Scott for telepathically communicating with Madeline prior. I've seen many posts online both condemning Jean for being a hypocrite, but also many defending her, saying Scott cheated on her with a clone. So, let's break it down. Is Jean being a hypocrite? I say no. When she snapped out of her coma, she had to latch on to Wolverine to collect herself. The way he feels about her took her by surprise, but she also immediately jumped into the fray to save Scott when she realized he was in trouble. She also makes it clear in episode 5 that a month has passed since the clone reveal and Scott has been ignoring her for all that time. And then Wolverine shows up and makes her feel like she's the most important person in any world. Was it okay to kiss him? No. It was human. And after everything she's been through, she can be forgiven for making a mistake. Now, about her outburst. She lashes out at Scott for having a psychic rapport with Madeline behind her back. Despite parting on okay terms with Madeline, she resorts to insulting her.
Sinister cuts out a part of me and you love it?
Damn, Jean. But there's more at play here. Jean denied the Phoenix, one of the most primordial and powerful forces in the universe, to stay with Scott. She's been abducted, cloned, replaced, and watched the life that should have been hers lived out by someone who looks like her. And all the while, she's had to be considerate of Scott's feelings because he just lost his son. Who's been there for Jean? Who was there to support her? Storm left the mansion. She obviously doesn't want to lead Logan on, so she wouldn't go looking for solace there. She wanted Scott. All that pent-up frustration ultimately resulted in, again, an all-too-human response. Keep in mind that her kiss with Logan was impulsive. Scott's rapport with Madeline was deliberately kept secret. Which brings us to Scott. I love this guy. He's my favorite X-Men. How much do I love him? Well, my son is named Nathaniel. That's how much. His greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. Don't let those ruby glasses fool you. Scott sees the world in black and white. He has a wife. He has a child with her. There's no room for him to comprehend how to possibly cope with that. And no one expects him to find a solution immediately. But at some point, he does have to try. It isn't often that Scott can learn a thing or two from Logan, but this is most definitely one of those times. Okay, Wolverine fans, settle down. I love Cyclops, but Logan was definitely the better man in this episode. He could have given in to primal urges and took advantage of Jean. Lord knows he's been pining for years, but instead, he reminded her why neither of them can go down that road. He wants her, but he wants her the right way. None of that stumbling in the dark nonsense. But the true hero, the absolute MVP of this episode, was Gambit. He had to deal with Rogue and Magneto's past, and in the end, he handled it like a gentleman. No insults flung her way, no ignoring her, and it could have been petty by letting the Sentinel smoke Magneto, but he stood up for his rival in romance and sacrificed his very life for the people he loves. In this episode, Remy embodies more than anyone what Xavier's dream is all about. Don't judge someone for having a past, for being a scoundrel, a mutant, because they just might be one of the greatest people you've ever met. That's the lesson. Remember it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.